And welcome to Paranormal XL Podcast. Gigi here, and today we have two special guests. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Ashley.
I'm John. Hello.
Hello.
These two are super funny. I love them. I met them newly from the shop. The few times that I have met them throughout the shop, you guys are so funny. It's so cute.
We're going to take it on tour one day.
You should. You should. They, talking about paranormal experiences and such, so I asked them to come on here and tell their stories. So if you guys want to take it away.
You want to go first or me go first?
Go for it.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a great, fantastic Saturday. Well, whatever day it is you're listening to this. I grew up in a household that was primarily Catholic, Christian. My mom always called us recovering Catholics. I think she had some experiences.
Yeah, but known too.
No, I don't know what really drew any paranormal experiences into our household, whether it was the house or the family itself. But some weird stuff as a child, and then really as an adult, my parents west side of Illinois into an old valedictorian, and neighbors ended up coming to us and explaining a child had passed away on the property. The Amish there were building the house, fell off the roof helping, and snapped his neck on the ground, and they buried him in the back corner. Whole time that I lived there, my brothers, there's 5 of us kids total. The time we lived there, you'd hear doors creaking in the night when nobody was aware, when anybody's walking through that house. Creaks and cracks and everything.
Was it an old house?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, early 1800s.
Okay.
I mean, it had like...
Those are the creepiest
it
ones.
was so creepy, and it was, just terrifying even during the day. And teapots in the concrete in the basement, horsehair as binder for the basement.
Oh, wow.
The foundation.
Yeah.
It was rough cut, milled wood for the beams.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was pretty neat, but yeah, it definitely had an eerie feel to it. And there's actually a headstone in the back corner of the property. Not a cornerstone. A lot of properties had those little pylons. No, legitimate headstone. Many, many nights you'd hear steps running through that house, man. Always, I'd poke my head out, and Joey would poke his head out and be like, "Hey, my room. Not you. Who's that?" And, everybody was asleep. Kind of wrote it off and got used to it eventually.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, man. You just become accustomed to it.
Yeah. Now, did you guys ever do any research as far as where that or who that headstone belonged to?
Nah, the Amish aren't super great at, record keeping.
What?
I mean, bloodlines, they like to intermix, but cards, but no, we just generations ago. What it is, we're not ballsy enough to try to
let's not fuck with it at all.
Like, nobody's getting hurt, nothing's getting broke,
just trying to spook us a little bit.
Sounds like a kid, just like, hey, I'm here.
Right. Now, was it playful stuff that would happen?
Yeah, it was just doors. Nothing ever moved into a different.
Right.
Some of the other stories you hear about.
Right. Now, where was this house located at?
Out in the boondocks. It used to be the original Amish property. I think it was 400 acres.
Oh my gosh.
400-acre farm total, and it was all the Amish folk. It's a bunch of families.
Their community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, part of their community, and through the years, they've kind of condensed into a country block.
Okay.
More tight houses, and then they own a bunch of farmland.
Yeah. Have you been back there since?
No.
No.
No, I don't think my sister.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got all excited. I'm like, so when we go on visiting, oh my god, that is awesome.
Yeah, man. It was.
So how old were you when?
That house when I was.
Okay, so you were old enough to kind of know the difference of certain sounds or whatever, like a furnace kicking on or what have you.
Yeah, it wasn't, the wind whistling through the north wall. Became accustomed to in the winter.
Yes.
It was very apparent creaking.
Right. So you guys never broke out the Ouija board or anything?
No.
No.
I think it was. At the time, you got movies out there, and it's like, oh my god, Hollywood and Ouija's, we're gonna summon Satan.
Yeah.
No, man, we were just like, all right, there got some footsteps. There's somebody obviously here with us. They were cool. They can walk through at night.
Right.
We're gonna have all the lights on when we walk through at night.
Right. Well, that's cool that you guys found a way to live with it, because there are people that have the experiences, and sometimes they turn out bad. But if you reverse the roles, would you like somebody messing with you all the time? You know what I mean?
No.
Fucking with your shit and everything like that? No, so I think a lot of people kind of lose that. We just want it gone. Well, there is a way to, most of the time, as long as it's not a negative entity, there's a way, you guys found a way to find that happy medium where you're going to keep us up at night, so we're going to keep the lights on. So there, take that.
Yeah. Coexist, man.
Yeah.
Compromise.
Exactly. How about you, Ashley? Do you have any?
A lot of experience. I do sense things a lot. Brother passed away 4 years.
You can you might have to eat the microphone.
Is that better?
Yes.
My brother passed away 4 years ago, and I do feel him come through often. I went and seen a psychic 4 years ago, I think, 6 months after he passed away, and she said so many things. That was my first experience that time that I realized some of the things that I always feel things. I have dreams. I got feeling. It was at that time that I thought, well, maybe all of this stuff maybe they're not just coincidence. I actually dreamt of my brother's funeral, I think 5 times throughout the years. Before he passed away, I just started mourning his death. Days where I couldn't even get out of bed, I was so upset.
I'm gonna need you to leave. You're scaring me.
Her gut feeling is spot on every time. I don't think in the 3 ever been wrong about anything.
Well, and I just always thought that we are exactly where we're supposed to be today, and the things that we experience, the feeling that is a message from a higher power, from angels, whatever it is that you believe in, universe, whatever. We are supposed to learn something, and until we learn that, we're just gonna. I think it's more, about not so much getting messages. I think that we all get messages. Recognize the messages. They're all around.
Synchronicities and whatnot. Just being aware.
Absolutely, yeah. Our son is turning hospital a month before he was born. I knew that I was going to be going into the hospital. A couple days before, sounds so cliche, Dragonfly would not leave me alone. Just kept sitting on my arm. I could touch it. The day that I was being admitted, I was sitting on the back porch and I was telling my daughter Maddie that I was going in, and she was upset, knew it was going to be for a long time. Here comes that same Dragonfly, just landed right on her, and she looked right at me and said, I think that's Uncle Randy, probably giving me a hug because he knows I'm sad. I have not communicated any of this with her.
That is awesome, but freaking creepy.
Really neat.
As long as you're open to it. Now, have you ever creeped anybody out do you share your experiences openly? I mean, you are right now, clearly, but...
Sometimes, but more in a joke.
Okay.
I do ask, I learned from Bonnie just to ask for, as I was there, to ask for protection and...
Oh, yes.
Don't want to have a feeling, somebody's going to be harmed or something negative.
Oh, for sure.
If I can't do anything about it.
Right.
And I think with my brother having that dream over and over, was I supposed to do something from that? But I didn't recognize it as, okay. But when I walked into his funeral, exactly like...
Now, did that freak you out?
No, I was kind of at peace with it. I felt like, well, I've lived...
Right.
I mean, it was still terrible, but
well, yeah.
It wasn't a shocking thing.
Wow. I don't even really know what to say to that. I know I want to say things, but I just don't know what. So now at that time, did you share any of those experiences prior to his passing with anybody, or you just kind of kept that to yourself and was like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, I just kept it to myself. I didn't ever say it. But I mean, weird things like that happen literally almost daily. So-and-so call you. He said no, and we were still on the phone, and they started stuff like that. Like, all
You're
the
like,
time.
what am I supposed to do with this? Yeah. You need to find a way to do that. Capitalize on that.
I had a dream not too long ago about your much into detail. But then I said something to Jonathan, and 2 days later, we found out some news. And that is what it's about.
Do you keep a dream journal at all?
I don't. I should, though.
You should.
I absolutely
should go back on that and date it and everything and see if you can see some kind of correlation through all of them, because maybe it's happening twice a week on Thursdays and Tuesdays or whatever. Try to see if you can figure out. Maybe I'm gonna say, personally, from listening to you, I would say you're supposed to be receiving messages, but right now you're in the spot of trying to figure out you got them, but what to do with them.
Right.
And who are they for? But it seems like you're getting a lot of them, people that are close to you. Yeah, and trying to figure out how you're supposed to, I guess, get that message across to that person in this realm.
Right, yeah. I was doing Reiki. I was sending it to John's friend, and who I had the dream about. And I don't know what the heck happened. I was starting to have a panic attack. I started dripping sweat. My heart was racing. It's like, whew, I need to stop for a second. I've never had that happen. So I am curious, what did that mean? I did contact him and ask him, know.
Do you normally... I don't say blah, blah, blah. Do you normally have the panic attacks, anxiety attacks, or...
I haven't in many years, no.
Because now you got me thinking about mine. It's like on my journey so far, I've had multiple people say, there's when they download their messages, that's how they'll refer to it. And so, like, I was going to say maybe that's if you're going to say consistently having those anxiety attacks, maybe they're correlating with your dreams, or maybe that's your download time. But if you can figure out when you're going to download,
right,
make sure you're getting a nice sleep and everything, and then make sure when you wake up that you're getting all those small details. Even the colors in your dreams mean something. I'm gonna sound like a crazy person, but I always do. It was a few months ago. That's actually one reason why we talked about the archangels that time. Is I was like, well, I got a question. Because everybody's like, well, my archangel, everybody's got one or something. So I asked who mine was or whatever before I went to bed when I was doing my praying thing. And the only thing I remember from a dream is just turquoise, just the color turquoise. That's what I looked at for the 5 hours I was sleeping. I'm like, what in the hell? So I'm texting Mary. I'm like, Mama Mary, what's up? And she's like, well, you need to see what what archangel coincides with that color or whatever. I can't pronounce it. I'm not even going to try, but I have it written down in my book of shadows. But I'm like, makes sense. And then when I researched, like, what he was there for, because they each have their own jobs or whatever, that made sense, because I'm a caring and a protector per se, or that's what I think I am, or I try to be, with my family, people I care about, my kids, such like that. I don't know. It all kind of worked out, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I asked for some kind of sign, and it came through with my dream or whatever. So, like, I don't know. I would pray before you go to bed to whoever you pray to. Ask for your sign in your dreams, since you remember your dreams. You remember your dreams. I didn't sound like that. You can. Freaking love that movie.
Don't you ever say that.
It's like a Cabbage Patch Con Winston.
Oh my god. Yeah, that one's my favorite. Yeah. My kids, I just scare my kids like that.
Where's Rachel?
Love that, Dad. Oh my god.
He's so funny.
Oh gosh, yes. Me and Sean used to watch him. Oh man, where were we?
Sorry.
Oh, ask questions before you go to bed. And write that stuff down. Like, literally keep, journal, pad of paper, whatever, right next to your bed. Write down the colors, what you remember feeling and stuff like that. You probably have a lot of answers within your dreams. You just don't know how to perceive them, maybe.
Sure. Because I only really recognize it when it's something, just bam.
Right out there, yeah. Where there's no question about it.
Right.
Interesting.
And I also pick things up from people.
Mm-hmm. You got the softest voice ever. Eat that microphone, will ya?
I do pick things up from people often. If I don't know, sometimes I'll meet somebody and I don't want anything to do with them. Just stay the heck away from me.
The empathy. You're an empath.
Things, and he does. Absolutely, he does. Not just the quarantine that's made him antisocial.
Yeah.
Society's pretty
It's
crazy.
humans. It's humans. Yes. Shoot, I was gonna go off. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, just, absorbing things from people. And I try to protect myself. I say crystals. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm getting better with that. There's definitely a learning curve, though. And around somebody, and it's like my entire mood has just changed.
You're definitely gifted. Everybody has a gift. It's just whether or not you in tune yourself with it. And everybody's is different and how they, like I said, relay the messages that they're getting. And it may not even just be like the psychic thing where, you're being told messages, but just, I don't want to say that. Like my daughter, I've taken her to a couple different people because she would have dreams and wake up with marks. And in her dreams, she's fighting. She's a warrior. And I forget the name out the... So I need a little Mary, so I can be like, Mary. She's always there to answer my questions when I got the random ones like that. I almost want to say maybe it was Star Child or something like that, but they're meant to go to war for us in that dream realm, in our spiritual realm. And I do believe that we go someplace else when we sleep. We're going to a different realm. Our higher self is leaving our meat suit, essentially, and that's where, that other stuff happens. That's why I believe that, like, you'll wake up extra tired, but you're like, man, I just lounged the day before. Like, what am I, am I possibly wrong? Yep. What could I possibly be right? Yeah.
That's a big one, man.
So that's why those negative Nancys out there, as soon as you can prove to me that I'm not wrong, I'm still going to be here talking my shit. Because it makes me happy.
Right.
And why not? It's
Right.
kind of fun to think about and talk about. However, now when you first started, like, realizing these dreams and your premonitions is what you're having, I have heard of that referred to, because not everybody has the premonitions. That's a different kind of level of psychic. What did they call that? A forecaster. That's what I've heard them referred to as. Yes, because that's exactly where my brain went to. I was like, oh.
A weather woman.
The weather today.
Oh, yeah. There's a 99%. Yup.
Fucking mean girls. Of course you bring that up.
Yeah.
That is funny.
I'm a 90s kid, man. I love it.
That is funny. Now, how old were you when you were like, what the heck's going on here?
I remember having crazy dreams when I was really young.
Okay.
Really, really young. When I don't know, I was probably 10, and I had this dream. It just terrified me at the time. Where I was watching Jesus be hung on the cross, and I was like sitting right there. Had that dream, I think, 3 days in a row. Exactly everything the same about it again.
Yeah. Have you ever been baptized?
I have not. I have not.
The 3 times thing always.
Mhm.
I mean, the universe loves Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
I'm like,
things, Trinity,
power of
God,
3.
Yeah, the power of every 3 times. Every 3. Like knocking shit over.
Yeah, I flip the table after every recording, so we're good. it's cool.
Likes it all. But no, the 3 that story trips me up in that story just because, like, representing you having a dream as a set of 3 about a set of 3. 3's all day.
Are you a conspiracy theorist?
Yes. Oh, very much so. It was an inside job.
It was all inside. It was fucking Carol Baskins, wasn't it?
No, not that bad, Carol Baskins.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so much fun.
They laid down there, feed her husband than tigers.
All I understood out of that was
Tigers.
Man, she don't fit that bitch in for a tiger, man.
Wow, you turned into Boomhauer too, huh?
I love Boomhauer.
I can tell.
Boomhauer speaks some real good logic. He's got no respect.
Because they can't understand him.
Well, if you do, he's just really, he's Cajun. He's really Cajun, okay? He's just got that real deep, like, you like to see homos naked thing.
Everybody know that.
That's cool, man. Like, whatever.
You're making my cheeks hurt.
Oh my gosh, we need to do a podcast on just movies and shows.
This is
It would
work.
probably
These are the
make
conversations we
a
have at
hit.
work all day.
Be
Goofy
great.
shit, you know.
Goofy shit. Oh my god, I love it.
Sorry. I don't mean to keep
No.
interrupting with something serious, then fuck it. It's like, hey, look at this, it's important. Let's go over here.
Exactly how I am.
So
It's okay. My face
my
hurts.
cheeks hurt.
Sorry guys, we're laughing too hard. I bet that all got recorded. It's gonna be loud. So yeah, wow, pretty special. What are your gifts besides knowing quotes for movies and shows?
Oh, I was totally convinced I was gonna be a sociopathic murderer when I got older. Growing up.
Oh, cool, a serial killer?
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome.
I really thought I'd be dead before I was 25, and I was gonna end up murdering at least 15 people.
Did you dream about this, Ashley?
I did not.
No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Absolutely
It
did
didn't
not.
happen, and I think Ashley helped me a lot with that.
Interesting. I may need to record you for the true crime podcast. It's,
Right.
wow,
You
she's
gotta-
getting serious here.
You got a pen of hogs. You can do a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's always my go-to too.
Knock the teeth out.
Mm-hmm. Feed them tigers. All you gotta
Yeah.
do is put the sardine oil on them. Takes them right away.
Vitamin E oil, man. If you don't want to buy sardines.
Yeah.
But But no, I don't know. I grew up disassociated from kind of from my family and friends, and felt like an outcast and stuff, and had wicked dreams for a long time. Nightmares. Never had any dreams. It was always just horrendous, being mutilated, falling to my death.
Like straight up night terrors.
Yeah, like never woke up though. Couldn't wake up. I did wake up. Like I didn't. There's very few times in my life where I felt like I've actually had a night of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because like I'm so actively in a nightmare. But I don't even remember a lot of my nighttime brain activity at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like my mature brain being like, okay, this is horrible. Spent a lot of your life focusing on this.
Right.
And kind of built your character around it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to forget about it, not remember it. But like everybody, pretty much everybody, like my thing, like the rule of one.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody always somewhere. But pretty much everybody does dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's remembering it when you wake up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm learning through Ashley and through the kids and humbling myself how to be a little more connected to other people.
Good.
My go-to under emotional stress is disassociation. Blank look, psychopath, literally nobody matters, nothing matters. So
I didn't mean to just laugh. I just kind of giggled
No,
at that.
it's-
I'm
it's
so
cool.
sorry.
it's all right. It's relatable. Like it's a thing. It's
It is,
defense
yeah.
mechanism for a lot of people. And
For sure.
I think that things that I've survived in my life kind of hardened
Mm-hmm.
my spirituality, even my
Made your shell harder.
Yeah, I mean, it had
For
to
protection.
be tough skin, and
Mhm.
that's from everything, the good and the bad.
Yeah,
I mean, you're numb,
and that
you're numb from
sucks.
everything. But no, there's a lot of beauty. Coming
really
here,
is.
coming to the reading room with Bonnie and you now, and meeting Ashley. I mean,
Everything's just great. It's fine.
it
Everything's
is.
fine.
It really
it's
is.
great.
Some
She
things.
thinks you're gonna murder her.
No, I am not gonna murder anybody in this room.
It's cool. It's cool.
It's
bro.
all good, man. We can
It's
end this
cool,
right
man.
now. No, it's just getting older and being exposed to more of like a spiritual aspect of life.
Yes.
Has been extremely enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
I have a knack for remembering information, like stupid movie quotes. for
Yeah.
example.
Well, yeah. You gotta fill it up with something up there. I get
and,
it.
I mean, it sticks through like readings and self-help stuff and positivity. You gotta
Yes.
fill the tank to keep it going.
And what sucks about that in today's world is like people get looked down on for being positive, or at
Yeah.
least that's from my experience.
Oh,
And I
for
think that's
real.
why a lot of people, they leave that guard up, and it sucks because you're missing out on so many awesome people, the beauty of the world, the beauty of Mother Nature, the earth. I mean, it's just wonderful because all through my 20s and stuff, so worried about work, being a mom, doing this and that now I'm like, okay, I can take a breath. I missed out on so many years of
Yeah,
missing
man.
out on that, where I could have had, I just bypassed probably some of the best opportunities just because I was like not taking that little bit of extra time, because we were taught essentially, you need to do this, you need to do this. Well, nobody ever asked why. There's always a why.
You got the blinders on.
Yes. All I knew is I needed to provide, but also I didn't know who I was. And that's the good thing about you don't have to just jump right into the spiritual thing and like have your crystal balls and have your cards. Not everybody does that. That's spiritual. I would say a majority of the spiritual people that I have met through my journey, they're just kind people. Like they don't do the readings. They don't do any of that stuff. Could they? Yeah, because we all can. If you're getting in touch with that side, it takes a lot of dedication, but it's helping yourself open up. But we're just taught and conditioned that we need to do this, and that's the only way, and that just really sucks. Now, was you because you were in a Catholic home? No, you were in a Catholic home. It's like I don't even know you guys.
We've
So I was
known each
gonna
other
ask.
for years.
I know. Remember we had Bonnie with that day?
She was so confused, like, what?
All the spiritual talk we probably did years
Another
and
life,
years.
who knows,
Yeah.
man?
It's crazy. Because we felt, these guys, I'm all looking like, the people are like right there. These two are just awesome. And like, was it the second time that I met you? I was like, oh my God, I need a hug. And, this is Rona time. We shouldn't be going around hugging people, but I felt the need to hug Ashley. You guys are just great. I'm just so happy.
Don't laugh about the virus.
No, I'm laughing about. They're like, Rona time, I was around licking doorknobs.
Hi, good call. You gotta say, you're a window licker.
Yeah. I like doorknobs to build my immune system.
That's right. That's how we're surviving.
Sorry.
I have survived because I hugged Ashley.
Oh, jeez.
Now, was you Ashley raised in a religious type of home? No. Now, did your parents or your family members, like, are they into any of this? Like, did you have anybody to kind of help and guide you?
No,
Or-
half of my family are atheists.
Okay.
So yeah, I get made fun of, or they're not mean
Right.
to me about it, but
I just don't understand. Oh, I get made fun of.
I really
And I laugh back.
Yeah, I could.
You have to. Then I'm like, I'm not going to have a conversation with you unless you educate yourself.
Right.
Do your research. It's so easy to do research these days. You don't have to go to the library or find, spirituality in the S encyclopedia. All you got to say is Google, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then Google tells you this shit. Like, it's amazing.
Right.
It's magic.
And I guess I look at it as if someone has something to say to me about it,
Mhm.
they're not in alignment with me. You don't have to have the same beliefs as I do to
Oh,
be in
no.
alignment with me. You just have to not be a shitty person.
Yes.
I don't. That's probably my higher power doing a favor for me, letting me
Mhm.
know you don't want to be that person.
Yes.
We're all entitled to our beliefs.
Oh, for sure.
All of us. It doesn't, there's so much negativity with the election, the virus, and wear a mask or don't wear a mask, and just over here saging. Just keep saging.
I just sharpened
Yep.
my sword.
You're so creepy.
I'm just waiting for the economy to collapse and society to fall apart.
Yeah.
Zombies.
And then here, me and Ashley are going to be like, love and light, love and
Right.
light. And you can be out there with your sword trying to save us, though. Dude, I've been prepping for the zombie apocalypse forever. When we get this horse shit,
Yeah, for real.
like it's
2020
not
though, we
even
got
like
2 months.
Ebola or nothing.
Got 2 months.
I know.
That can happen in 2 months.
Yeah. So much. We're not going to talk about that because
Yeah.
that'll take the love and light away right away
Yeah.
from this podcast, and we're just full of fucking love and light.
Yes, past tomorrow's for the.
Probably put that on a shirt.
Well, the real saying is a foot in yesterday, a foot in tomorrow makes you shit all over today.
Oh,
Kinda
you
like,
nicened it
tweaked it a
up.
little bit.
Yeah. Oh, man, how nice.
PG instead of R.
So, not Rona.
No!
I'm wearing thieves today. So
She's
not.
like, I'm
just in
prepared.
case.
Why you didn't protect me?
I know.
Each man for themselves. Yo, we're on your own. Oh wow, seems like we've been sitting here a long time recording.
35 minutes, 6
Uh-huh.
seconds.
Not including some of the silence. I don't. Your voice is just super soft. Like I can hear you fine here, but that trying to pick it up is crazy. Yes.
You just made me think of when a Jeff Dunham Muppet.
Yeah.
With the one that's always silent.
Oh,
The Mexican one.
Well, I don't know.
Jalapeno.
No, it's not. It's a dead terror.
No, it's not.
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
I'd kill you. Thanks, Jeff.
I don't know if I can leave that in here.
Yeah. Oh, copyright. I don't know if you can. Just cut out just that part.
Just
And
that
then leave
part.
this post conversation.
Okay.
So people still get it.
Okay. Put it in the
You
blooper
sounded just
reels.
like
What
him.
if I say I will you? So it's low.
Okay.
That's not PG.
That is not PG.
How you doing?
I will you.
I wish the listeners could see this.
Oh my gosh, my cheeks hurt.
So, I do have more questions. Just
Yes, please proceed.
give me a second. I just, hey, should we take a break?
Sure.
We will be right back. And we're back. Yay, with John and Ashley. So, does anybody remember where we were? I mean, besides here.
John was talking about Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam. Are you having flashbacks? He's
Shouldn't even joke about that.
no. A lot of things we probably shouldn't have joked about, like the whole serial killer thing, and goes, yeah,
I have to laugh about things.
yes, you definitely have to.
Laughter is good medicine, man. I
guess, and I don't.
Locked in a closet or a room or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you opened the lock with your mind.
No, actually, I heard little kids laughing and there were none. I
That's-
could tell that story.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
super
probably
weird.
should tell it.
When we first moved to the west side of Illinois after the market crash in 2008, my
Mm-hmm.
dad took an agriculture job working for his best childhood friend. And so what we did was, we literally lived at work.
Yeah.
For the summer. Like we
Okay.
slept on couches in the office and then we'd wake up, go to work, come back.
Did you guys get paid good?
No.
No.
But we worked
But we
a
got
lot of
couches.
we worked a lot of hours and it was like, the 1960s like real rough couches that make you itchy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean that was really fun, especially after grain dust on you all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a shower, but
A shower, which was a hose.
no, it was it's an old school. It's like
Okay.
the original school of Hoople in Illinois, Hoople, and like one horse town, real small.
Yeah.
And this was the original school building, and it was just had like a really creepy vibe to it. I mean, we had converted all the classrooms into like inventory rooms,
Yeah.
motor room and different things like before I infringe on copyrights. So fuckers. So, but no, in one of the offices. It was my oldest brother's office. He has a private bathroom in his office, and still just a rundown school. But we were living there, and I walked to that bathroom to use that one because I wanted to use that one, and the door never jammed. I mean, it's like an old door. It's actually kind of loose. Like you pull it hard enough, it's gonna open anyway.
Right.
Go in, use the bathroom, and I try to leave, and I twist it. I can feel the latch move with it, and I push on the door, and it felt like somebody was pushing the door back to hold me in the bathroom. And so I'm literally like, I have the knob twisted.
Right.
And I'm 14, 15. I was still 6'2", like 109, like literally the same size as I am now.
Right.
Athletic, and I'm booting this door as hard as I can.
Right.
And it's like just a little bit of movement, and I'm hearing like people laughing. So I'm thinking like my brothers, they're
Right. Stop fucking with
2
me.
years,
Yeah.
3 years older than I am. Like, all right, they've been a bunch of assholes. We had one of our family friends staying with us that weekend, and so I'm like, all right, these guys are just being a bunch of pricks. Like, haha, funny. And I literally was just like, whatever, I'm done. Sat on the floor, and then got real quiet. Laughter went away. I heard footsteps like walk away from the door, and like just into the hallway. And it's like 5 feet. The office isn't big, so I throw the door open and I run into the hallway, and it's pitch black. None of the lights are on. I can see at the end of the hallway, the main office where we were sleeping.
Right.
That light's on because we had like a box TV. We put it in there to watch training videos for service and stuff. Man, my childhood was interesting, wasn't it? And so I sprint down this hallway of the school, and I throw open the office door. I'm like, you motherfuckers, like, why would you do that? And they're all like, what are you talking about? You psycho? Like,
I had no idea.
Yeah, like we're literally trying to go to sleep to the shitty video Dad put on. Like,
Right.
go to bed. We have to be up in a few hours to work. And I'm literally screaming at them like, I can't. You guys are a bunch of pricks. Like, this place is creepy enough. Like, how could you do this? And they're like, oh. So they start laughing, because I'm like, oh, I fucking knew it. And
Right.
they're like, no, dude, seriously, like, we did not do anything. I kept trying to call them out on their, I thought was shit, and then they were like, John, like, you would have saw us in the hallway or heard this office door shut if it was us.
Right.
And so I explained to them, like, no, like, I heard laughing, I heard footsteps, like, somebody else was in
What's
here.
going on?
Somebody with like a childish laugh was holding the bathroom door, playing a prank on me.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, we didn't like to stay there alone.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't either. No. That's too many rooms.
Yeah, it's a lot of rooms, and it's so dark. It's out in the country. I mean, literally, I think there's like...
Sounds like the start of like a horror movie.
Oh, yeah. You want to get learned? You're going to learn today. But, no, man, it's
Close my face.
It's out. It's out in the country, and there's like no ambient light. There's a co-op on the other side of town. It's just super dark and creepy, like a 5-acre lot full of like grain augers. And
So did you ever see like the Jeepers Creepers guy out there or anything?
no,
No?
always waited because there was some timber down the way and had like abandoned cars in the middle of it. You could see it when the fall time would come. You could see all these literally, I mean, serious, like 1970s cars,
Right.
with trees growing through them.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers, like
Yeah.
killed the people and ate their bodies, absorbed them, and
Yeah, that movie came out when I lived in Iowa, and I would
Oh.
have to drive
cornfields.
home. Yeah, from one little town, Story City, Iowa, to Roland, Iowa. It's the next town up. Man, I'd speed home so fast because I watched that.
Man.
Oh my God. I'm like, okay, do not die. Do not come out on the road. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I wouldn't even care. I'd be going 90, 95, through those roads that easily... I had more of a chance of, like, clearly hitting a deer than the Jeepers Creepers guy, but that's all that plays in your head. Yeah. Oh my God.
Consumed by fear.
Yes, exactly. Because Iowa's a scary place.
Yeah, I mean, it's either that
It's
or
so
the
desolate,
Deliverance
though.
guys come
Yeah.
out,
Or Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Creepy fuckers.
How about we go with like the Field of Dreams? I reckon I'm gonna have to kill you. You got a pretty mouth, one sling blade, and the other's a deliverance fellow.
You want us to leave you alone with the mic, or?
Can I whisper sweet nothings into it?
Well, sure. I'm not sure if you're gonna get anything back from it, but.
Oh.
So that's kind of why when I meet Mary at the cemetery today, see if we can get any EVPs back through.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
With that, like, we've been out there many times, like, with just our small voice recorders, but having something like this pick up more sound. So it
I have
should
a
be
concept for you.
fun. Ooh, let's hear it. Lay it on me.
Ashley and I were talking about it. So there is a haunted house, a legitimately haunted house in
Legit.
Mount Carroll, Illinois. And it's an old Valley Victorian house, so like early 1800s, and it's built on top of shifted bedrock by a river. So the bedrock is horizontal.
Yeah.
And it's shifted upwards, and then the house is at the tip of this bedrock. So it's
Oh,
a
wow.
giant battery because it's thick, dense bedrock.
Yeah.
And you ever think about
That's cool.
you're not supposed to set a car battery on concrete because concrete will physically drain the energy out of the battery. The same concept is how it was explained is it's the same concept for this house.
Okay.
I mean, a bunch of really horrible shit happened in this house, apparently. And I mean, the guy was like thwacked out on crack or something, but he was really cool host.
But hey, it was cool.
Yeah, super nice guy. And he swore up and down he didn't do drugs, but I mean, nobody acts like that at 3 a.m.
Unless.
Yeah. But so I was just wondering, like, have you ever looked into like cemeteries that are built atop shallow bedrock?
I have not.
It might be a good concept for you guys to look into because not only do you have the physical corpses of the deceased, but then the emotions of the people that go to the burials as well.
Yeah.
That would be absorbed into that bedrock and then held as a battery. Well,
No?
it makes me wonder about the
Action.
Ben and Ann's. Is that Chippewa too? So that one, I mean, it's right by the river. It's shallow ground. It's high floodplains, and then Michigan as a whole was carved out to the salt plains.
Right.
So I mean, topsoil's not that deep. Salt. Something to look into.
Talking into the mic and when nobody.
Maybe you're a ghost, and that's why it's not picking you up very well. They're gonna be listening and being like, who are they talking to? They keep talking like there's 3 people there.
Right.
Okay, sorry, now what was the band?
Yeah, they played in the like barn or whatever in Chippewa, and it was creepy. They would hear footsteps, doors shutting, things, talking into the mic when nobody was there, and I think, I'm sure, because I went there a lot, I'm sure I heard things, but it was the feeling that I remember the most. Just walking, darkness.
Yeah, heavy.
Darkness, yes.
Yeah. That's, I think, a lot of people, when they go into a place that is known to be haunted or have stories behind it or would have good stories to say, yeah, this is haunted. I think people, we get scared and it intrigues us, so we go. But I think people miss that little stuff, like the sounds or even how it makes you feel heavy versus like scared or even seeing things. So they just like block that out because of that fear, and they're like, it's not real, it's not real. And I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. However, you pay attention, like the synchronicities when you're in a place like that. For sure, a lot of people just disregard it as, I'm just being scared, and then they don't pay attention to that little stuff that's being thrown at you from across the room from a spirit.
Right. That's not usually wrong. When I feel stuff like that, it's typically
So you're like Gibbs from NCIS. You got that gut feeling. That's like my all-time favorite show. I'm on like my 18th time watching the whole thing. So it's pretty great.
I wonder who did it.
Oh, jeez.
So any more stories, guys? Excitement.
Stick on my parents' house. Just I hate to stick on it, but the mic is mine. but no, another one about my parents' house is like I had a friend who would stay with me some nights at my parents' house after high school, and
I knew that tone. I know that tone. Somebody I used to know, or I never knew.
Just somebody that you used to know. But I'm going great. I'm going on American Idol. Is that still a thing? American Idol still around?
I don't know.
Nobody knows. But no, my lady friend would two damn it, 2 weekends in a row. And she didn't stay over for a long time after this, like refused to. But
right.
I was literally the first time she ever, and my very creepy vibe there anyway. Very first time she ever stayed over, it was, what'd she say, 2 a.m. She woke up, looked at the time. I had an alarm clock at the time. It was like before I used my cell phone as an alarm clock. It was right on the dot, 2 o'clock in the morning. And she looks at me and I shoot up at the waist to a dead 90, which I still, like, I can't do unless somebody's sitting on my feet, or I try
Right.
really, really hard. And apparently I shot up to a 90 degree in my bed, and I looked to the furthest corner of my room to where you cannot see the corner because how dark my room was. It was literally painted red and black, and I had blackout
Yeah, I remember
curtains.
you saying that before, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's literally a dungeon. You could just make out like rough shapes in there.
Right.
And I looked at the corner for like 2-3 seconds, slowly turned straight forward, fell backwards, dead asleep the whole time. Don't remember any of it except her waking me up and being like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And
No.
and so then the next weekend, she came back over, and she woke up at like 2:30, around 2:30 this time, and my door was literally like the foot of my bed, and then it was like 4 feet to the door going into the hallway.
Right.
And she saw like a shadow figure. My dad's about 6'2", 230, and I guess the shadow figure was about the same size as my dad, and she was like, "This is really weird. What do you need, Joe? Like, this is strange. You're watching us sleep." And,
Right.
and
What the fuck?
no response from the shadow figure, and so she like turns to like poke me, looks back, and the shadow figure was at the foot of the bed, like looming.
Oh, I just got chills when you said that.
It still gives me chills even telling the story
that.
again. I got goosebumps.
La 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 la.
And it was like looming over the bed, and she like punched me to wake me up, and I wake up, and that's how I know she wasn't dreaming.
Right.
Because I remember her waking my ass up and
Right.
being like, "Look!" And then
there.
I look, and it's like the fading of a shadow into like I could see something fading into nothing. I don't know.
I know what you're trying to
shadow
say.
that was disappearing into like the normalcy of the ambient light around it
Yeah.
through the doorway, and it was gone. So she refused to stay at her house for a very long time.
Then we
after
burn
that.
it down.
Well, it's my parents' house. I can't burn it down.
Well, don't they have good homeowners insurance? Come on now.
I honestly don't know.
He's like, oh, good question.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe
I'm kidding.
not.
Don't burn down your houses.
Yeah, and I mean, we tried to figure it out, and there was a few instances where you'd hear like really heavy footsteps on top of those really light footsteps. So we never really did any formal investigating.
Okay.
But we really kind of put it as like maybe it's the disgruntled spirit of the Amish kid's dad, or when the Amish kid died, it brought so much negative energy into that house as a family as a whole. And even though their ideology is it's God's will, accept it.
Right.
That's a really hard thing to accept when a child dies.
Oh gosh.
Very in a very harsh way like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much my parents' house.
I say they may not even know if they're dead.
Yeah.
Because there's stories of that where, where they call in a psychic medium to come in and try to do a cleansing and stuff like that. And they reach, over to that side and get the message. And these people don't know, so they're just living their normal life or thinking they are. There's a movie, and I cannot remember the name of it. I watched it. And it was set up just like that, where this family they introduce you to, they have you investing your attention into this family. Will come to find out, it was switched around, and that family that like you're watching getting haunted was actually haunting the family that they thought was haunting them. If any of that makes sense.
No, it brings in.
And then it's a mind fuck of a movie, because then you're sitting there and the credits are even done, and you're just like,
It sounds like a really good movie.
it was. Whoa.
Yeah.
Because you're just, huh? But to just think of that being able to happen is crazy. Right.
Well, I mean, how far do you want to go into physics and parallel universes? You know?
not very far.
Flashpoints and timelines. I mean, it's a big circle. Shit gets confusing, but the possible reality of parallel timelines is trippy all on its own.
Yes.
Like the fact that somebody else could actually be living in my parents' house just slightly to the left on the timelines.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe somebody else bought the house and fixed it up and not
Crazy.
us. And like that's what the ghost is. Or maybe we're hearing his kids walk up and down the steps, and I feel bad for them. And chandeliers swinging and stuff because of all of us, and
right.
you know, stomp it.
And they got somebody in there trying to cleanse the house, and you guys ain't going nowhere.
These guys are a bunch of asshole ghosts. They took out all these walls.
What are they doing?
They took down the leather tanning rack that was in the attic.
What?
It was just a log. It was like a log on some hemp rope in the attic because it gets like 140 degrees up there in the summer. And we figured out it was a leather tanning log. They would like skin an animal, hang the flesh over this log, and just let it dry out up there.
Yeah, interesting. I'm sure that smelled horrible.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's where.
I don't know if you probably make jerky. I mean, you'd step up there and boom, you'd start sweating your balls off instantly. It was so hot. Anyway,
with that being said, it has been awesome having you guys on.
Hell yeah,
it's been awesome.
We're dope.
We could actually probably just stay here and record it. I could just put it into things, but I have to go record with Mama Mary now, so that's exciting.
Yeah, man.
So you guys have anything else? We will for sure have you guys back on. I enjoy this, so it's been a lot of fun. And, well, yes. Next time we'll do we'll come up with a topic. We got a topic to go off from. It'll be fun. But thank you for sharing your stories. Sometimes it's hard, especially like Ashley, your stories with getting in touch with your spiritual side. That's a hard. I don't want to say it's hard to come to terms with because like I'm like cool, all right, but to try to tell other people. Like coming out of your spiritual closet, essentially, is what it is. But good job to you, and keep it up, and keep coming to the shop because it's awesome.
Love it here.
Good. Did you guys like how I said you come in a guest and leave his family? I was thinking about that. I think my last time I left here, I was driving home. I was like, that's exactly what it's like. Because not one person leaves here and they just like, you know, like you go to Myers and you pay for your shit and you leave. Like, no, you shop for 10, 15 minutes, buy your stuff, and then you hang out for another half hour just talking before we let you leave.
You give me a cool cashier, I'll sit in there and talk to that motherfucker for an hour.
No, I do the same thing. I go into the store, my kids and my husband will be like, well, you just run it. 20 minutes later, Mom, stop making friends and come on. We got things to do. And I'm like, I'm being polite. No, you're trying to make friends. It's like, no.
You got a minute? What about 25?
Exactly. That's about, and go. But all right, so remember to email us at paranormalxl@writeme.com. Is ready for this? Stay humble, stay kind, and remember, don't yuck someone else's yum.
Ever.
You guys nailed it. That was so sweet.
Play back that last